Yeah, yeah. Good evening, everyone. Today we will be looking at random module in Python. So random module we can use it multiple, I mean to say multiple ways, and we can develop multiple things like even in gaming to develop simple game like Ludo. We generally use this. Uh, so how it goes? Let me share my screen. So here. So what exactly random module is? It is a built-in module, so you don't need to install it or a package like Conda package managers. It's by default when you install Python, it will by default get installed, so you don't need to worry about installation. Uh, so it's generally to generate random numbers. I meant to say like I want some random numbers to be generated. If I have given a list of 0 to 10, I want something to pick. So just like dice example, we have 1 to 6, right? So for every time we do the generation, it should give us the output which lies in 1 to 6. So it will automatically do that random generation of that. So so similarly, it's like to pick up some names or to do that. Multiple, I meant to say multiple functions are there in this module. So if I have given some link, so what are the pseudo number generators? What is the random in Python? There is some video from Khan Academy. You can just take a look at that and more details in this documentation. So going further, so just to see what are the functions available in random module. So it's like if we do, so there are multiple functions, but we are just seeing a few of them. So if you random, if you select seed and give a number like uh, uh, maybe 1, 2, 3, so it generates three random numbers. If you given three, it generates three random numbers. If you given two, it will generate two random numbers. Similarly, if this function is mainly we use for now or for anywhere. So it's like rand int means. So if we given the range like 1 to 6, this function will generate output which lies in that range like 1 to 6. For example, dice output. So it will generate maybe 1 or 2 depending on how many times 6 like 5 or something. So this is a very useful function, I want to say. Yeah, and again like range. So range example we have seen like it will generate if you given range of 10, it will generate from 0 to 9. Similarly, if you have a random, right? So random will generate only floating point numbers. Only floating point numbers it will generate, and it will be I meant to say in this range only. So similarly, we have like uniform choice. Choice is like if you want to select something, we have some strings or list which is having multiple values, and if you want to select any one value among that, we will be take using this function. So going forward, we will see we have two exercises which we will use random only to do that. So, but we don't use this choice, but we will use some like a rand int function. So here also, if you given a and b uniform range, it actually generates a floating value. Here, this function don't take any arguments. It will generate only the number between 0 to 0.0002 to 1 0.999 or goes on. So again, if you just want to shuffle, right? For example, you want to just uh, yeah, places in if I meant to say in a list there is some set of data, but you want to shuffle the data. It should not be present. The first like seating arrangements we can say. Seating arrangements we can use this kind of shuffle to whom where to sit at which number. Using this type of shuffle function, we actually do that. So going here, so it's like sample examples. If we see, just in Python, just I'm saving it, random underscore demo. So if I want to run it, so here what we have taken, we are generating a random integer between 1 to 10. So it can be anything between maybe 5, maybe 6. We never know. It's actually very random. So if we generate, so it have generated 2, right? Now if I again run, it will be 5. So it is 4. So similarly, if I have given to 1 to 6, right, it generates only this value. So you can, if there is no dice, you can just run this program to get. So now 3, 5. So the range never goes beyond pure like the first range is like number. It the minimum range is 1 and the max is 6. Still trying to get 6. Finally I got 6. So now if we take the next example like random dot random, so it will just generate any value between 0 and 1. So it can be 0 point something or 0 point triple nine max values in our 0.90 or something it has generated. So now if I take my list, so list containing different type of fruits, apple, banana, orange. So if you so it's like if you are having three types of fruits and you want to choose uh, and what to eat today, maybe just you run this. It's like cheats, having cheats, and we have to pick up one cheat. Similar kind of uh, thing we are doing here. So again, if I run this, so now it is banana. Again, if I run, so it is giving me orange. Again orange. No apple. No banana. Orange. So it's like we can have, I meant to say, different use cases we can using this random module. So I think we already discussed how to import modules, right? So I have imported a random, and then from random I am actually accessing the functions in that module, random dot choice random. So similarly, the last example is separate list. So here the apple is at my first position, second position, third position. So if I run that program, it will actually shuffle. So now orange came to first position, apple came to second position, banana came to third position. If I run again, so now apple not changed, orange and banana got changed. So any questions with this random functions we can. So there are multiple, I meant to say multiple functions available. If I, so depending on use cases we want to code and how to use that, we should be knowing that. I meant to say. So it's like get R and bits. This link is having multiple more functions, like if you see set state. So it's like restoring the state before which the sequence was generated. So the same. So generally we don't use like generally the state functions, but we generally use a random integers shuffle, and then it is whatever we defined here, like a choice and then a list. So any questions regarding this random module, we can just go through this documentation once I share, and you can just see this video as well uh, to get more clarity where to use. So now it's like simple exercise we're using random function. So like generally we play heads or tails, right? What to do, any. Uh, so here what we will be doing. So it's like we will be writing a program. How it is, it will randomly tell two things like heads or tails. You can just try to write using, I meant to say, choice function also, like giving this, but we don't use choice, but we will be using only like random integers, and then we will be doing. So it's like they have given few statements. So we want uh, write virtual REST program. So use a function from it. Generate a random number either, then use that number to print out. So here if you see they have given we have to generate a random number 0 or 1 and then use that number to print out head or tails. So it's simple. If we go again back, so there is only two outcomes like 0 or 1. So how we will be doing that? Using the random. So here we have multiple like 10 outcomes. If we consider 1 to 10, if we consider 1 to 6, it will be 6 outcomes. But if we consider only 0 and 1, it is like 1, 2. So 0 or 1, only two outcomes. So let me start writing that. So first I will be task program. So my language is Python. So here we are not asking users any input. So just number for task equal to, we have to first import random module. So it's very simple program. So equal to random using random integer rand int. So what we want only two outcomes as per the user defined, like as per the instructions. So now what I'm taking is like I'm considering if I get 0, it will be tails. If I get 1, it will be heads. Uh, so you can consider reverse way also. Just I'm considering number for toss equal to 1, then print heads, else print heads. Or tails. So here I have closed a string. So, so because the instruction is given, we have to get a random number. Using that random number of 0 or 1, then you have to print it out heads or tails. Otherwise you can just define a list. Uh, so there are many ways you can do it. You can just define a list of heads or tails and use the choice function. That also works. So if I want to run again, So before running, we will ask my choice is heads. What I will get? Tails. I lost. So I can run heads, heads, heads. So it will be very random how many times you don't like whether it is. So it's a very simple program. We don't just will be using the random function, random module, and that random integer function. We will be using. Uh, so any questions here like for this program or any questions? If not, we will go to the next exercise. I think there are many questions. It's simple, very simple exercise. So here now this is another interesting topic. A banker a lot. So it's like uh, so we have to give our friends' names, and so you have imagine you have gone to a restaurant and with your friends. So now we have to give all your friends' names, and this program will pick who will be paying the bill. So it's very simple. So here they said we should not use choice function. So how we will be doing that? So it's like again. So let's read that random names from selected list of names. So the person will be selected will have to pay a bill for everybody's food bill. So we should not use choice function. So the another instruction is like we have to split the string. So it's like the input what we are getting. We should split it individual names and put them into a list called names. So they have given the variable names which is a list. It should be list. So for this to work, you must enter all the names as followed by comma, example space, name, comma, space. So name, comma, space, name, comma, space. So it's like they have given hint, assume that names looks like so. Uh, if I give x, comma, y, comma, z, so the names variable will be something like this. It should consider like a list of names x, comma, y, comma, z. So here, for example, like the programming example, they have given example like Angelia, Ben, Jen, Michael, Joel. So here, if you see, there is a space after that. So the output something like this going to meal today. So they have given us another hints. We have to use length function, and we have to use list at index 0. So why they have given hints is like the first thing they have asked us to not to use the choice function. So the next thing remaining is we have to access the list using indexes. So this is like index. So they have clearly mentioned index. Index is like nothing but if so here x, y, z. So the index of x is 0. So it's at 0 first position, but index starts at in list it starts at 0 position. So and then y it starts at it is at second position, but in list the index is like 1. So similarly, it's Z. It is at third position as per if you consider 1, 2, 3, but in index it is at second position. So that's what they are saying. Like index starts at 0. So now let's try to code one by one. So what first what I will do, so now my language is Python. So it's like we know we will be importing random module. Then now we will be asking input enter our. Let's memos names enter. I have better enter names of all the persons in our group followed by comma and space. So here I want to say name underscore string names underscore string. So what why I'm just mentioning we need to convert it into list. Uh, so now I want to convert into a list names variable equal to what exactly we are doing. So if you remember the string methods, so there is string dot split. So how will be doing? So we are actually what we will be doing is like we the strings whatever the string we mention because we are followed by commas, we actually split that whenever there is a comma it will be splitted uh, and it will be entered into a list. So this is actually string methods where we can convert strings into a list of objects. So just I want to say print names. So because we already discussed the string methods, so maybe you can just refer back. So just I want to check whether I'm writing correct or not. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'm getting this invalid syntax error. Okay, I got correct. So I will be using all this. Mm, String has no attribute. String should not be the case. What's happening? So it's a string object. We are splitting it. Uh, Maybe just I will ask Bart or split Okay, I don't need to use string. Sorry, because it's already string object. I am actually again converting it into string. Think I don't need to do that. Yeah, that's working fine. So whatever I have given, so if you see the others are converted into list objects. If I want to get slash in the new line. So now here the comes the main part. So why they want us to use. So because we don't want to use a choice function, but if you use a choice, it is straightforward. Random dot choice of these names. If we use that, it is a straightforward. But we don't use. Clearly mentioned we should not use. So how we will be doing it? We will be using the random integer function. But before that, we should be knowing how many names we are entering and how many list I meant to say how many elements in the list are there. Depending on that, we will be accessing that by using the index. We will be accessing the name. So for that, I meant to say. So first we will get names underscore length equal to length of this list. So it is like similar, like it will return an integer value how many names we are giving. If you have given 5 names, it will return 5. But if you have given 10 names, it will return 10. So now, so I now I will be using random dot random integer. So it's I know index will be starting from 0. So as again, if you go back, they are clearly mentioning they have given us int also because the list index starts at 0. So my I want to say if I want to access the first element in my list, so for that the index will be starting at 0. But the maximum how much it will be, it should be length minus 1. Right, because it's starting from 0. If there are 10 elements, the all the indexes should be it from 0 to 9 only, right? Because if you consider 0, oh, it's like 10 elements having indices from 0 to 9 only, not 10. So but the length will give us only how many elements are there, it don't consider. So it's like if you enter 10 names, it will give us 10 number 10, but the indexes will be starting from here. So but I want here I want to store name, name index. So here what we will get, we actually get the number. Uh, So using that number, we will be accessing the element in the list. So, so name for bill pay equal to names length of name of index. So if you understand what's the logic we are explaining, we are actually getting how many elements are there depending on us, depending on the user input. We are converting all the names entered into a list, and from that list we are actually getting how many names they have entered. If 10, 20, 30, how many, whatever that we are getting a length of the list, and then we are actually uh, generating an random integer which will be used as index accessor. So using this index accessor, so it can be 0 to, if there are 10 I mean to 10 names, so the 10 names for indexes, it the indexes will be starting from 0 to 9. So they can be anything like 0 to 9, or like 10 outcomes will be there. So depending on that outcomes, we are getting one number, and we are actually, what we will be doing, using that index from random, what we are getting, we are actually taking the index, like accessing the element using the index. So similarly, we what we did for string of 0, because string is a array of characters, like list of characters we can say. Similarly here, the elements lists also we will be accessing in the similar way. So it's like index accessors, we call it as. So now the final will be print. So what is the output they are given? So I will dot format. Done. So here it will be replaced by this name. So I am saving it and again running it. So I will again enter all this. So here what they are saying, the object is not subscriptable. Why? Now for, oh sorry. I have to get from this, not names. Sorry. So this is the my list, right? This is just length. So this is in. So it will change. If I'm just for our understanding purpose, I'm just printing it up. What index it will be doing. So I'm running. So it total we have entered 5. So it has picked up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I run it again, so it has picked up fourth index. So let me, so again it picked up 3 only. So I will change something. I will give my name like Sai Kishore. So just like now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 names, right? So if you see now it's like 7, the length got changed. So it's like 7 names we are giving and it has picked up 1. So I'm trying to get my name. Again it is Ben. Finally I got. Yeah. So for today, so you can use this script when you go. I'm not saying it's very simple script where you can use for fun. Yeah. Any questions?